we do a ton of marketing due diligence work for private equity firms. Sometimes it's pre-LOI as well, outside in. We don't have access to the team or even a data room. So I'm just curious on your side, like how do you go about doing some of that analysis?
This gets back to why it's so useful for us to have such an industry and sector focus, right? So we have a sense of already, okay, what does good retention look like in insurance? Or what sort of LTV to CAC ratio is realistic in payments or in wealth management? And so we don't really have to be doing the first turns at that because we've often seen other businesses or have other businesses like that in our portfolio. So there's an element of that piece, even from a channel perspective. Typically, if you're a B2C business in fintech, you're kind of on some of the same channels, right? Like I don't know a lot of people who are using Pinterest to sell, their banking solution. And so that helps us speed up a little bit of the due diligence because we've seen a lot more of those pieces in other businesses that we've surveyed with Devin's team or within our current portfolio. And then again, there's an element too of there is only so much, of course, you can get into until you get the data room or, if we're going to cut a big check, like, yeah, I got to really talk to the team, right? Because you can kind of get a really good sense in 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes of live IRL back and forth versus just taking a look at the data room. So different stages, obviously, as you go through the different funnel of due diligence. But again, I think being industry focused really allows us to get there faster than I think others who are ramping up to both the company and the industry during due diligence.
Yeah. I think that's a really interesting point. It's that because you have industry expertise, the benchmarks are more reliable than, let's say, a company that just invests in middle market companies.